Chicks dig the car.
This is why Superman works alone.
Alright. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else in between? Happy Saturday. Happy Batterday. What's up? This stream has been a long time coming, both in the sense that I've been looking forward to this game for a long ass time, but also I've been fiddling around with some other stuff for a few hours trying to get shit running. First off, Commander Root, thank you very much for the follow. Highly appreciated. We're climbing ever so closer to that 1,000 follower goal. That's exciting. I've got a whole lot of crazy, stupid, hopefully fun stuff planned for once I reach 1,000 followers. But in the meantime, we got some Batman games to cover. I want to apologize, I guess. I don't know. Explain that there hasn't been any haven't been any streams in the last week or so. I was hoping, or I don't know, thinking maybe that there would be, but it turns out that this last week at work has been kind of crazy, but also really, really awesome. I'm trying to it's been really cool, so I really want to talk about it, but there's also kind of a limit to how much I'm allowed to talk about it. But to make a long story short, we're at some point, the timeline isn't exactly clear, but we're gonna make a game. So we've had a kind of a workshop week developing game concepts and stuff like that, and it's been super duper fun. So we ended up putting in a lot of overtime, so I didn't really have any time to stream in the past week. But you know, I can live with that. It's fun to have a good time at work. I was gonna say for once, that's actually not true. I really enjoy my job, so I'm lucky that way. But even so, it was an unusually fun week. And summer vacation is coming up, but I'm working for one more week, and then I have 4 weeks of vacation. So I'm hoping that in the next month I will be streaming a lot more than I have for the past few months. A few days a week should not be an issue, and I'm hoping that'll help me reach the 1,000 follower goal so we can get started on that stupid nonsense. But of course I have a whole bunch of other things already on the docket in terms of not only Batman games but other kind of backlog stuff, and I don't know, too many games to stream, too little time. That's life. Anyway, without further ado and messing around, I guess, why don't we try to get into this here Batman Forever for the arcade. Let's see here. I guess I should start this. Actually, I guess I should probably get rid of the music, right? Let's do that. All right, this is gonna flip around, so why don't we... Oh, hang on. Let's hide that, and let's do this, and... be fine. And okay, let's do. Hang on. Why? Okay, well that's fine. I'm sure. Let's move this here. All right, we gotta manage some stuff here. That doesn't look quite right. Let's check the filter setting. That looks better. What's up with the weird outline? Okay, that's just an overlay thing. I guess we'll have to set up the controls here. Right. Let's pause this in case there's a sick track mode. We don't want to miss that. Can I not use the stick? Is there? I haven't used this joystick in a long time. I kind of forget how it works. Forget if there's a D-pad analog thing for the stick. Who knows? We'll figure it out. See the keyboard. In the meantime, I guess. No, I don't know what the controls, where each of the buttons is meant to go, but I'll just make something up, I guess. Coin, sure, let's do this button. Service 9F2, okay, so let's check out the service mode real quick. All right, this is just a global, okay. System assignments. Advertise sound on, good, all right, that's what we want. I guess we could do free play or something, but just leave it, you know, let's count the shameful credit feeding. So this has, yeah, okay. Start. Let's turn this up. That should turn up on my end too. Yep. That's the Advent Forever score. There's a whole lot else going on audio-wise in this game than just music, so we're gonna have to adjust volume once we're in the game, I'm sure. Jump, punch, kick. Is that the order that they go on the cabinet? That seems like it would be weird. Well, it doesn't matter as long as I can keep track of. Alright. Game data. Alright, so it defaults to easy. Okay, just... I'll stick to the default. I'm sure it's not really going to be easy, but... So I should mention too, I was talking a little bit with... resident Batman Forever expert, Fantastic Planet, asking for a bit of advice or hints for as to how to play the game. Because my understanding is like it's the game is kind of really stupid, and it's, I mean, he's 1cc'd it, and it's not like that difficult to do necessarily, but you kind of got to play in a specific way, and if you try to play it like normally, quote unquote, you're gonna get destroyed. And like apparently Batman super sucks, and you have to play as Robin if you want to do well. But I figure I'll try to play the game as like a normal person first, and then I'll try to consult some of his strategies and see what I need to do, you know, and see if I can. Oh shit! And see if that helps me beat the game more consistently or get farther or whatever. So I don't want to just credit feed my way through the game. I want to savor this, right? I've been looking forward to this game for such a long time. It would be a shame to just blast through it and then leave it behind. So I think I want to see like how far I can get in one credit, basically. I mean, the goal would be to play through this, like play a couple of attempts and then 1cc it. That would be the ideal. But I don't think that's a realistic. Like, I think at some point we'll see how far I can get on one credit. And once I reach that point where it's like, well, I guess, you know, it's not going further than this, then we'll just start credit feeding so we can see all the glory that this game has to offer.
Riddle me this!
Alright, so we actually do see the control scheme there. So in the off chance that you haven't seen this game before, well, you just got to see a little bit of it. And maybe start to get some idea of what the, you know, why this game is a big deal. Well, okay, separate high scores for Batman and Robin. That's kind of cool. Those sick Robin abs in the background. Amazing 3D effects. Okay, so bunch kick to block. I guess hold block and tap the stick to do the roll. Okay. Well, okay, why don't we... Oh yeah, right, I have a coin button. Floor is the CG. Why don't we try Batman first? Dude, those CG abs, pretty sick.
Who is Batman?
Okay. Right, time. Alright, Bat logo is gigantic. Alright, there's like a billion power-ups. It's really weirdly slidey and stuff. I guess... Okay, I didn't press a button, that just happened. Okay, Super Saiyan Batman, we're level 2 now, I guess. There's like a number by that power meter. Whoa, okay, I'm swinging on something. Oh, okay, I died. Alright, okay. Good or evil? Okay, let's pick that up, I guess. So it seems Batman, like based on that little demo we saw, that instead of the roll, Batman has this little tackle thing. Okay, I powered up again.
Blind, stupid.
Okay, I died again. Now I'm tiny. Like, this is the sort of game where a good 30% of stuff that's happening, if not more, will make you wonder if something is just fucked up with the emulation. But like, nope. It's the game. Oh, I missed a health thing. What I guess my health is. Okay, level 3. Dude, I'm like super duper Saiyan. Just happened. Right, wrecking ball. Okay. I think I avoided that. Slide around like crazy, by the way. So I guess punching uses items and stuff. Kicking does not. Is that game over, or do I have one more life? Alright, that's game over. Okay. I'm not gonna bother putting a fucking name in. What up, Gundam? Oh yeah, the when Batman turned like 1 foot tall, that was really cool. Well, why don't we try credits with Robin and see if it feels any different?
You're looking at your new partner.
I know that he's better, like, if you play it properly, but I don't know if I'm gonna tell much difference without knowing what to do exactly, or like without trying to go for proper strats. Roll. Oh yeah, there's a flip kick. I guess there's like a command for doing that. Right. You can like turn around and do an elbow. So I did read through the notes that FP gave me, but I sort of deliberately didn't memorize them because I figured I'd go back to them. But I remember something about you turn around and you do a elbow, which apparently sucks. Also, we Battletoads now. Alright, well, I guess not everything is as intended. There are a slight few emulation glitches, but more stuff that you would think is actually as intended. I guess you can cancel being hit with like doing that roll or something. This game is... If you think this game is confusing to watch, I can report that it is at least as confusing to play. Okay, we're good now. Bat bola, I guess. Shit. Oh, fuck! Okay, yeah, you can like jump out of anything. That's kind of weird. Oh, cool. You want to see? Okay, awesome. So would you agree with his judgment? I guess that Batman is the worst character, or is it just that you have to play him differently? The only character was Robin, okay. Alright, we're powering up again. I still don't understand the power mechanic at all, but that's fine. Just go Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan Green. Some sort of disco going on there inside, I guess.
Multiple knockout.
Oh, right. Alright, so it's just like the quarter circle motion, I guess, to do the spin kick. Ah, shit. Trying to grab the grapple thing. Oh, shit, that was game over. Okay. I thought I had like 2 lives left because I totally misread the HUD. But I definitely got a little further. Let's see if we can at least make it through the first scene. Robin has the infinite combo. His jump kick is better and has 2 versions. Right. I do remember something about that. Batman's no infinite. His jump kick isn't as good. Well, quick start. Try and see if...
Who is Batman?
do any better. Alright, so you pick up these little bad things. Once you fill the meter, I guess you go Super Saiyan. Yes, you have to play very different. Nice, okay. Nice. Okay. You have to be really careful with Batman. Yeah, it seems like Robin is mostly like flip kicking all over the place. Like that's the game.
Our kind of day.
Evil. Okay, so now I'm tiny. And throw grenades. Alright, but I'm definitely getting like more of an understanding of what's actually happening. So it's level 3 max, or do I... Dude. Fuck's sake, now the health thing's off screen. Nice. 3 is max, okay. For Batman. Yeah, well, I mean, if the style of play is different, I can see that.
Multiple knockouts.
Oh no! I vaguely recall something about like spending meter or like to gain health back or something. Yeah, sure. I'm not like averse to spoilers or anything. I just thought I shouldn't. Fuck's sake. If like. In the off chance that like learning strats make the game play totally differently, or like it makes it all super trivial or whatever, then I would at least like to sort of experience what the game is without knowing that stuff first. But I'm not too afraid of that being a big something to really worry about. So I'm absolutely not averse to. Leveling up restores your health. Okay, that's why he's leveling down. Okay, right. So, nice. Okay. PB. Semenowski, what's up? Alright, going down a level to level up again. So, do I do like special moves or something like that to... Right, on hard the meter drains fast, on easy it drains slow. Select... oh, what the hell? I have no idea what any of this does, so sure.
Riddle me this.
Okay, now they are tiny for some reason. Yeah, I recall him saying something about the game being easier on hard. For some reason to do with something like that. Or like, I mean, maybe the enemies are more aggressive, but like the trade-off. Something turns out to be like beneficial on higher difficulties or worse on lower difficulties. Like when you get stuck like that, you just pummeled. That's kind of tough. Batman's useful combo is jump kick. As soon as the jump kick hits, mash punch, then mash kick. All right, well, why don't we give that a try? I'm pretty sure we're gonna move over to Robin, or like focus primarily on him. But why don't we see if we can actually learn something about the game in the meantime? Jump kick, mash punch. Okay. I'm gonna guess some of these early guys they just died too quickly for that to be a factor anyway. Okay, I'm guessing that was the combo. Well, I got some health back. Higher your level, the more hits you can do. I see.
Ha! Our kind of day.
I go tiny. Yep. Okay. So would performing a combo like that drain my meter? Yeah, I guess it does. But it drains slower on. Okay. I'm starting to piece this together. Also, I'm like a shining golden Batman during that combo for some reason. That mean like I'm invincible or something? So at this point, I might want to not pick up those power-ups. I level down, and now I want to pick them up. Okay. Except now I died. Okay. Now I dead. I'm starting to kind of understand. When you're orange, you're invincible. Alright, cool. You just kind of jump out of everything. Level up. Nice, got health back. I did die early there, but I'm still actually... knowing that I'm... kind of knowing what I'm doing here. Makes me feel like I'm actually doing alright still. Yep, okay. Nice. Okay, so... I get to pick one of these, and each one of these will give me some sort of bonus, I guess, if I understood correctly. Right, yeah, block, yeah, exactly, you can do the kind of dodge thing. What does this do then? Hollow mode. Hollow mode? Right, okay. Cool, the game made too much sense, I guess. So here we are. I haven't mentioned that this game is fucking insane, by the way. Well, we got a spank meat. It's gotta be good. Fuck! I got really flustered there. Kind of lost track of controls. Alright, there we go. Okay. I think I beat the boss. Well, I know that the sound emulation was recently dealt with. I don't know if it's if it's as simple as that, but I don't know. So when I picked this one last time, I got that hollow mode thing, which I guess gave me a bunch of clones. Is there like a one bonus that you should always pick that's like super good, or is it situational, or like doesn't really matter? I mean, I'm happy to just try them out and see what they do. But I'm curious if that's like an important strat thing. Hollow mode is great for de-leveling fast. Okay, interesting. Ah, shit, that's it. Okay. Alright, well, let's give that one more try now that I kind of know what I'm doing. On hard, Batman can go from level 3 to level 1 with that combo follow. Okay. Interesting. Well, I've noticed that it's still a little hard for me to keep track of, like, the level. Like when I'm aiming to D-level, it's a little tricky to make sure that I do it just enough and not too much. Do I get the health now, or okay? I just leveled, got super barely any health back. Nice. Well, I powered up. Oh, the health disappeared. This is his fastest draining combo. Well, it doesn't seem to drain. Well, I was gonna say it doesn't seem to drain super fast on easy, but I guess it kind of does. Like if I don't get to ever pick up any other. So I'm guessing, does this thing like always go evil? I don't think it's ever not done that. Level down. Okay, we'll level down. Leveling down is sure not as dramatic as leveling up. Shit, see that? That's the thing, like as soon as I deliberately try to stop doing the combo, I die really quick. I guess I have to get better at... Can I... Oh, I have to like re-press the buttons. Okay. Do those kind of chain notches or whatever.
Multiple power
Forward kick to start the leaping kick. Alright, you just smash forward and kick. That's not the kick button. Okay. Alright, that thing, I guess.
multiple knockout.
It's two. Alright, well, I'm not doing great this time. I keep getting the buttons mixed up for some reason. Alright, so this, what the hell does this do? I forget. Let's try this one.
Riddle me this!
Second power and... Yeah, that's kind of what I figured with Robin. Like I vaguely remember the instructions, but now having gotten a better understanding of how the system actually works, what I've read makes more sense to me now than it did when I first read it. Shit. Alright, let's try Robin. Oh, that's not good. Whew. I'm curious if setting the difficulty to medium help drain stuff faster, at least to the point where it's more that it'll happen more, I guess. I don't know. Good, I'm like powering. There we go. I was gonna say it took forever to power up. That on the other hand for 2 seconds. So that's a spin kick. Alright, you do a lot more hits with this. A lot more easily. Okay. Now you can just jump out of it. Okay. Alright. So Robin has way better mobility and like way better combo ability, I guess. Alright, so yeah, you do actually level down a lot faster using that combo too, I suppose. Now I actually gotta walk around and pick up these power-ups. Up here. There we go. Alright, Gundam, we'll see. I kind of hope to finish this in this setting, or this sitting, and then move on, but you're very welcome to check out the mod. And, I mean, we won't reach these heights again, I'm fairly sure. But there are some other Batman games that are glorious in their own right coming up. In fact, immediately after this, it's another pretty good. Pretty good thing. Oh, this is not a good spot. I would need to level it down. Let's do this until I level down, I guess. No, shit, I want to level down. Nice. Okay, that actually worked out. All according to plan. Oh, that was okay. I was gonna say it's totally mistimed, but it sort of worked out. 6 was like almost dead. Alright, cool. I think we got 3 lives too. VR mode.
Riddle me this.
Where they turn into green cubes for some reason. Alright, level down. I see, okay, so I have to activate it. Nice. Okay. Got a big chunk of health back. Nice. Mr. Fui, what's up? I mean, like, why wouldn't you design a beat 'em up to do this? Right? Shit, let's not level down more than that. Nice, okay. A little bit off back. Yeah, I appreciate this game more than now that I actually understand what the fuck's going on. Well, I mean, sort of anyway. Alright, I think I've got him. What up, Riddler? Alright, do we get life back now? Is the question? Got 3 lives. I mean, this is pretty much perfect so far.
Highest combo. Hero bonus. Crimebuster bonus. Super knockout bonus. That's enough bonus. Riddler bonus.
So this one I think is the one that gave me the hollow mode. I don't know if I know what these are. Let's go for that.
Hollow mode.
So I could use quick leveling down.
Knockout.
There we go. Nice. That worked out. Dude, I'm fucking Goku and Naruto at the same time.
Multiple knockout.
Nope. Fuck. Ah, shit.
Multiple knockouts.
And I'm definitely starting to understand what FP meant about the elbow move. Like, you have to, like, so you use the punch button to use your weapons or gadgets or whatever. But if you like touch the stick within like 5 seconds of pressing the button, you just do the elbow instead. Frenzy mode, I guess, it's like whenever you just do your combo pretty much with Robin. Just do enough hits.
Multiple knockout.
Fuck! That's the thing, you really want to like level down.
Multiple knockout.
You don't want to keep your combo going after you level down, because you want to make sure it's easy to level up. But you're so, like, whenever you don't do your big combo, you're really vulnerable. It's kind of tricky. Is Batman actually anime? I'm not sure, but I think Robin is. He like snapped into me and I threw him. That was very strange.
Highest ground smoke. Highest copper.
Like the constant Super Saiyan shit. Certainly weird.
Super ground.
Oh, so is this what you get from the bat signal bonus? Dude! I got fucking generated by the whatever that was, the thing. That's weird. I mean, the whole crazy Super Saiyan animation when you level up is stupidly over the top to begin with, although it's pretty awesome. But the fact that it's so, like, that it keeps happening and it seems, it's not random by any means, but it, like, kind of comes out of nowhere. And it's also strangely over the top for kind of how often it happens, or how, like, it seems like a bigger deal than it really is based on how elaborate the animation is.
Back off.
So at that point I might have been, I don't know, it's interesting. I actually, the power mechanic actually make this game like legit interesting, because you gotta balance the power level you want to be on. Obviously being on a higher level makes you more powerful, but it you don't have the ability to power up or like level up. Leveling up heals you, which becomes kind of an important thing. Cool, I died before my life bar like even had time to go down. But that was like a stupid stage hazard that I should have, you know, avoided. So except now I'm about to die again. There we go. Animated series is heavily influenced by anime. I mean, it's probably true to some, in some way, but maybe not. Maybe not so much Dragon Ball Z. Or at least not the Super Saiyan powering up parts of it. And again, I guess I haven't seen all that much of it. Holy shit, this is an awful run. Yeah, this game, like, who? Yeah, this game is. I mean, it's just an anomaly on so many levels. It's just a mystery.
Multiple knockout.
Let me. God damn it! Pick up the power up. Nope. Oh, there we got it. Okay, so I couldn't walk to the power-up, but when the enemy walked into me, it triggered the animation of me throwing him. That animation, like, overlapped me with the power-up icon, so I actually got it. Yeah, let's go with this one. Double damage, I think. Yeah. You still have like activated. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I meant, Nasty. Like, it's I can see it, you know, in some ways, I'm sure, but not in you know, the kind of stuff we're referring to when jokingly talking about anime or stuff being anime. Midnight Pearl. Hello, hello. Shit. Yeah, this is a trash one. Yeah, it's interesting, like how quickly things turn around.
You're looking at your new partner.
But I can see what Gundam was saying too about the appeal of playing Batman. Batman, when you play Batman, it actually plays a little more like an actual beat 'em up. Wow, great start here. Just spend less time just like flying around and doing weird stuff. But it also, like, you spend more time in those states where you're so vulnerable. Let's power up. Nice video essay by Captain Kristen. Yeah, I mean, it's a show I'd like to kind of get into proper. I should buy like the Blu-ray box or whatever one of these days and just watch it. I mean, I've seen some of it, of course, but I haven't like watched it, you know, seriously or in any like concentrated effort to like watch through it all, etc. I mean, back when it was on, when it aired, it only ever aired in Swedish over here, and even at the time, I wasn't very fond of the Swedish dub. Okay, let's not get killed by the statues. Nice. The jump kicks, Robin's jump kicks I can see being a big strength too. His mobility is like kind of off the charts. Let's level down. Quiet now. I actually had to focus because I fucked this part up so bad before. Yeah, Midnight Pearl. This this game defies physics. It defies logic. It defies explanation. It is a marvel of a game. No pun intended. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's nothing like it. It's. Nope. That's not what I meant to do, but fine. Just like the physics and the movement, everything about this game is bizarre.
High ground sword. Highest combo.
Let's go hollow mode.
Hollow mode. Yeah, so this strange meter upgrades fast. As soon as you level down, you want to drop out of that mode. Okay, now. You basically want to jump kick people to death with the drop. There we go. So power up and get health back. Nice. Okay. Probably should have used it more still. I don't know. Finding the balance, how much you actually use the Now I really want to level down so I can level up again. Nice. I just picked up the health. Oh shit, I am level 2. I didn't need to level down further. Nice. Okay, perfect. Still alive. Honestly, Midnight Pearl, I joke about this game being completely, like, impenetrable in terms of, like, just understanding what's going on. And up until, like, 10 minutes ago, I really felt that way playing it, that it's extremely confusing. But I'm starting to get a handle on how it actually works. I can definitely say that I can understand why Fantastic Planet's like really into this game. Like, it's absurd and it's strange. But it is a lot of fun. It's actually like pretty damn good. I didn't think it would be. Like, on the one hand, just the way the game presents itself, yes, it is absolutely kind of a joke game. Like, it's impossible just in the nature of the game itself. You can't quite take the game seriously. But mechanically, like, it's absolutely not a bad game. Like, it's better than you would think. Now I'm kind of in awe at the moment. Like, despite this. But it's really nice to have those weapons to quickly kill dudes when you need to. Level up. Nice, okay, except I got just a tiny sliver of health. So, in case you missed the early parts where I got help and had this kind of explained to me, by doing these combos and stuff, you can see the purple meter below my life bar drain. That's like my power bar. And if that goes to the bottom, I level down. And if it levels down, it allows me to then level it back up again to the max level of 3. And every time you level it up, you get life back. And being on a higher level also means that, like, you're more powerful, basically. So it is good to be at level 3, but it's also good to be able to have that, to be able to get up to level 3. It's not dead. Hey, what up, Hoffman? I think he killed himself, basically. Nice. So there we go. I leveled up to level 3. Got some life back. This is... I think we're on PB status now. Well, technically not quite yet. Yeah, what each one of these does, but... We're at level 3. Yeah, it is really fast, but I mean... Cool, I got instant killed by some polygonal thing that just showed up. So the guy punched me twice and, like, I lose 40% health. That's this game. I guess you just have to avoid that thing in the background. I guess that's what you do on this stage. This is the arcade game. Playing this on a completely legitimate and legally owned arcade machine. There's got a bunch of batarangs in this stage. Okay, I guess I understand why we have batarangs. Do I have to be in front of it to fire? Alright, well, we got him. Green Ranger over here. Causing trouble.
Battering. Battering.
Alright. Well, I lost the life in the beginning, out of nowhere, but I thought I was escaping, because that happened last time too, and I thought I would evade it this time, but now I know that you can, like, sort of move around the whole area. Hoffman, honestly, I would say at this point I definitely prefer this one. It was fun to revisit the console game, and I still have fond memories of it, but playing through more of it and see, like,
Let's start this party with a bang.
it's too difficult and it's too stupid in many places. I still like parts of that game, but that game never really transcends its stupidity, like, and becomes quality, whereas this game definitely does. Like, this game is absurd and it's stupid. Shit. Oh, it's game over. But it's actually fun to play. And the challenge in the game is fun, I feel. Hello, no rep. You haven't missed all that much, to be honest. I mean, you've missed me learning how to play the game a little bit. But I'm still just doing 1 credit runs, so I'm still seeing the whole game. But it is pretty exhausting. So for those of you who hopped in now, let me try Batman again. He's a lot more difficult to play because you have to be a little more deliberate about your movement and positioning, I guess. But also, his mobility is not as good. Cool, I like almost died. That's the thing, like, regardless. Oh, and I got like no life back either. Sick. But you usually level up to level 3 real quick here. So the thing, like, the biggest difference between Batman and Robin is I don't have that stupid backflip kick combo. So you have to be a little more, like, do this combo that sort of resembles a real video game combo.
Our kind of day.
And also now I'm trying. Just try to level down. Yeah, the costumes and the character designs aren't quite, like, accurate. You'll notice too that Batman has the giant yellow bat logo. It certainly doesn't do in this movie. And of course, unlike the console game, this game uses like CG, like Killer Instinct style sprites. Dude, imagine if this game had live action like sprites. That would be like, that's the one thing that could make this game sicker. Ushi84, hi. I'm really glad you're enjoying the show. And I'm happy to have you here. Voices. Yeah, like it is fast and weird, but it's like, fuck, I didn't avoid it in time, so now I died. Now almost game over. The thing is, like, it's really kind of volatile. Like at any given like second, even if you're super powered up, even if most of your moves like gives you pure invincibility, mess up for 2 seconds and you can be dead. That's kind of interesting. And just like, yeah, just moving around so fast, you know, inherently kind of feels good. But yeah, so I definitely have a way greater appreciation for this game. Just, I mean, going in, I didn't know any of the mechanics, but now that I know just how the power system works, like, hey, it's a clever, I mean, it kind of makes no sense, but ultimately, mechanically, it makes sense. Like in terms of your mindset when you're playing. But logically, like it's a little strange.
What are you doing? What are you doing now?
Yeah, Midnight Crow, like, how did this happen? Like it boggles the mind.
Super grapple.
Soup grapple?
Super grapple.
Super grapple. Okay. Well, Nora, the thing is, too, and I was mentioning that, like, what you're referring to, I'm guessing, is the level up sequences. And, well, I guess maybe they do actually kill opponents. So it's to say they aren't really bombs or anything like that, but you die so fucking fast. It's crazy. But oh yeah, I can start on level 3. But they're just like leveling up, and it happens often, and it's like the animation is like way too elaborate for how often it happens, and how seemingly out of nowhere, like, oh, you know, you just pick up this bat symbol thing. Okay, I better start flying and exploding and shooting lightning storms all over the city, because now I can punch a little faster. But at the same time, it's that absurd level of like over-the-topness that makes this so wonderful. Yeah, so you can see there, so I have 2 meters on the top left there. I've got my life bar, which is the orange bar, and my, like, power bar, I guess you could call it, which is the purple bar. And the 3 to the left of the power bar indicates that I'm currently, that was strange, but I'm currently on level 3. Level 3 means that whenever I do my combo here, I can do that way longer than I could otherwise. And I'm orange when I do it, which means I'm invincible. But whenever I do that combo, you'll see that the meter drains a little bit. It's like a crowd throwing bottles at Batman. I think someone died. It wasn't me for once. Alright, so oh, okay, well, whenever you pick up bat symbols, you gain power. What did he say? Yeah, okay. So you can see, I collect bat emblems, and so I try to want to kill. Now, meter fills up, and now we're level 3. And you gain health back when this happens. So whenever you want to be able to level up again, you want to do these combos so that you actually drain your meter. And you actually kind of don't want to pick up the bat symbols if you want to level down. But yeah, oh, you die. So it's just an interesting kind of trade-off because there's a benefit to being a high level and there's a benefit to being a lower level. Although the benefit of being a lower level is kind of questionable in a way because it's not that being lower level is better, it's just that being lower level means there is a higher level to level up to, and when that happens, like, that's good. But a lot of the time, like, whenever I die, it's usually when I'm at level 3 and I want to level down so I can level back up to level 3. And whenever I'm level 3 and I'm trying to level down, all you do is you do these invincible super combo things. So you're not going to die doing that. But as soon as you actually want to pick up those things to level back up again, you don't want to do the combo, A, because you don't want to keep draining your meter, but also because you kind of lose control, especially with Robin. You do these flip kicks all over the place. When you want some actual control over where you're moving, you suddenly are way more vulnerable. And then you just get hit twice and then you die. But Robin has an easier time because when he wants to move around without doing his combo, like meter draining move, you can do these jump kicks that have really good mobility. Midnight Pearl, Batgirl is not in this game. She was not in this movie either. She's in the next movie, Batman and Robin. I mean, it's a strange thing to say. You wouldn't expect it necessarily, but I would say that this game is arguably more faithful to the movie than the console game. Like the visuals, I mean, I think that the other game too, the visuals are pretty faithful in style. But this, even though it's like CG, like there's something about the personality of the movie that I think this game kind of captured. It's a little more over the top, but it's like, it's not out of character for what the movie is. It's kind of like you could say that the Capcom Marvel games, they're like too well animated to be 100% faithful to the X-Men cartoon. But it's like, yeah, but that's not a problem. And I feel the same way about this. I don't think that this game really has a bunch of extra villains or characters or stuff like that. That's not at all in the movie. Everything is at least sort of taken from it. But of course, you know, the story starts or whatever, even if, you know, if there is a story and Robin's already there, like, or stuff like that, of course. But so now I want to level down to level 2, and I just did. Now I want to stop doing the supers. I just want to pick up these power palette thing. There we go. Level up again, and I get some life back. Yeah, Midnight. The other game is the kind of Mortal Kombat Mythologies Batman, basically. And we played that game prior to this. That's kind of good and all, but again, at this point I kind of want to drain again so I can level up again. Also, if you do high enough combos, Jim Carrey asks you to spank him. Which is also, of course, from the movie for some reason, because the movie was just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey for no reason. Nice. Val Kilmer was in Forever. Like the most forgettable Batman IMO. George Clooney was in Batman and Robin. This one too. So you get these, like, it's kind of like, I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking of Killer Instinct of all things. Like you can sort of qualify by reaching certain things. In that game, it's like if you do a high enough combo or a quick enough combo or win quickly enough or win whatever, you get a little qualifier to enter the high score list. Here's kind of the same thing. Like by reaching certain criteria, you unlock those, and then for the next section of the game, you get to pick which bonus you want.
Power sustained.
Let's level down here. So yeah, if you time it perfect, or like you do it really well like that, I actually lucked out. I dropped out of the super move quickly enough so that the enemies that I were killing with the super combo all dropped their power-up things, so I could just pick them up again. There we go. Okay, this is actually going really well. Yeah. There's a lot of unintuitive, weird control things in that other Batman Forever game. It's not a very good game, in all honesty. I still have fond memories of it, and like, I kind of like things about it, and some, you know. No, I didn't want those. Oh, actually, I'm at full health, so why not? Yeah, in the Super Nintendo version of you press select to do the bat rope, and you have to press select then up to like do it vertically. It's definitely stupid. But pick one, and if I don't pick one, I'll have one picked for me. So now we're in Naruto. And you can see it drains the meter really fast. But we pick up some new ones. So of course, as long as you're not really getting hit, there's no need to level down. But as you tend to take little stray hits here and there, it becomes necessary. But every now and then there are health drops, except that one disappeared. So now I kind of want to level down. No, just... damn it. Shit, and I blew myself up. Someone died there. Should level up, there we go. I got a pretty good chunk of life back, nice. Oh, but I took a hit, so. Now the boss is gonna show up. Yep, he just did. So it's more important to kill the boss. But, fuck! I didn't mean to walk into that explosion. I was gonna say, but you still actually have to kill the other guy. It's not like most other beat-em-ups where if you kill the boss, everyone else dies. But I did die when I leveled up. Oh, that was not good.
Battering. Battering.
Alright, everyone knows this is how VR works, right?
Battering.
So here we collect super batarangs to use on the helicopter. Shivena, what's up? Also, you don't want to stay under that thing, because you will be dead. Oh, I guess you can throw him down that hole.
Multiple knockout.
Battering.
Multiple knockout.
Use the weapon. Helicopter. That's the helicopter. Alright, that's that section done. This is an arcade game. We're playing the arcade version. This game did, however, have ports. It was ported to the PlayStation, Saturn, and to DOS. But unfortunately, all of those ports are pretty bad. Hey there, Franken. Like most notably, they all run in 30 FPS instead of 60.
Let's start this party with a bang.
But I'm sure they also, like that alone, I'm sure makes it pretty awkward to play.
Kill the bat.
But beyond that, I'm sure they like, I can't possibly imagine them actually being this crazy. God damn it, I don't want to... Fuck! It was so hard to level down there. Of course, when you die, you do lose the level, so no need to level down. It's so fast and slidey. Should let me level up. It's surprisingly good. If you understand how the mechanics work, rather, it's actually pretty addictive. I didn't think I would find it good. I thought I would find it funny, and I still do. It is funny, but it's honestly one of the more engaging games in this like Batman game so far. I think because it is so like high paced. Oh shit! She carried. It plays well. It's just it's very unconventional.
Multiple knockout.
I'm still okay. Guesser and Zap. Oh shit. Okay. Well, this isn't really fun to move, I suppose. This is not the last Batman arcade game, but I think it's the last one we'll be playing because there's a Batman arcade game by Raw Thrills that came out in 2014, something like that, but it's not emulated. Once we get there, we might look at some video of it. Might be fun, but there's no way for me to play it. Let's do okay, so this is, yeah, PB for sure, but we're on our last life here. Now we gotta be careful because I want to level up here. Nice. Okay. Dude, how am I? There we go. Whew. Yeah, it's a driving game, and it has like all the different like movie Batmobiles and different like missions. Again, I haven't played it, but I've seen some video of it. Alright, there's the point. Evil. Okay, I guess that always lands on evil for whatever reason. Feather and Stevo, classic characters. Dude, he hit me out of my invincible thing. Alright, got him. Let's not pick those up. Alright, let's fall down a hole. Oh boy, don't get me started on the Mega CD Batman shit. Those games are cool in their own way, but they're so impossible. We did play the Mega CD Batman and Robin, Adventures of Batman and Robin recently, and oh, that could have been so cool if it wasn't impossible. I don't think I've actually picked the Riddler bonus one. I don't know what it does. Alright, indestructible. I'm what? I'm just. Invincible, maybe? I don't know. Oh! Dude, don't kill me! Fuck, I just like got stuck in something I hadn't lost in my life. Close to, yeah. No extents. Okay. Bad. Fuck, you don't want to level down when there's like no enemies around. Alright, that's good. Fuck, none of them die. Okay, they're dying. Okay, good. Fuck, let me pick the things up. Fuck! They all disappeared. That's infuriating. John DiMaggio voiced in this game wouldn't surprise me. He's voiced a lot of games. Okay, let's keep going.
You're looking at your new partner.
Man, that was. I got kind of rough there, but for every attempt I'm doing, I'm definitely getting better at managing the power level. And once you learn more, like when and where enemies appear, mid bosses and stuff, you'll learn like what places are good or bad to try to level down. I got a little unlucky with the animation when I did the grapple thing, because it could have been a perfect way to level down and then level up immediately. But all the enemies that dropped the power-ups, like I couldn't even get to pick up the power-ups because they disappeared before my grappling things finished. This is a good place too to like level down, I think, because once I do, I can use the bat signal thing. Oh, I must have fucking die first. Jesus. Oh, I fucked that up. Steve, what's up? Yep, this game it sure is something. Man, I think up until now I've kind of ironically loved this game, and I think I'm transitioning into very earnestly loving this game. It's pretty incredible. This R appears on the wrong side. Well, it would be flipped too, huh? All right, let's try that. I haven't gotten that before.
Overthrow evil.
Overthrow evil. That sounds like a good power up.
Power up.
Does it just let me immediately power up? Well, I didn't get any health bonus, so. This is how you do most of the bosses, by the way. Alright, I don't want that because I do want to level down now. But this, like, the area and the like sugar and spice themselves, I don't know, they don't look much like in the movie, but I feel like they're not as different as in the other game. I don't know.
Double damage.
I feel like every kind of tie-in game or comic or sticker collecting book or whatever would have you believe that sugar and spice are a lot more important to the movie than they actually are. They appear for all of what, 2 seconds, and one of them has 2 lines. Yeah, and isn't it like, it's not Drew Barrymore who has lines, it's the other chick who gets to say 2 things or whatever. But it's also like, I don't know, they only exist to like, they're like set dressing for Two-Face, who is already like such a garbage character in that movie. Let me level up. Like there is no like duality to him. Like he's just, it's like Tommy Lee Jones phoning in his like impression of Jack Nicholson's Joker. It's kind of all there is to Two-Face in that movie. Like, I guess, like, this comes up every time, I guess, but, I feel like The Reason Forever is my least favorite of the Batman movies. It's largely because the villains. I think it has the weakest villains by far. Also, he could have been cut out completely, that's very true. Gotta admit, this is making me want to watch the film again. Not much can do that. Dude, you're in VR. You're not allowed to move.
Let's go, bird boy.
Oh no! Alright, ah, fuck. There we go. Nice. Power up. Oh yeah, like I've watched Fantastic Planet play this a bit, and I've always found it kind of amusing. Obviously, I mean, you can't say it's not interesting to watch, but I can't pretend like I actually understood much of it. But having, you know, some actual understanding for how the power mechanic works. Gives you some insight to what you're actually trying to do when playing the game. And I definitely appreciate this game on a whole new level.
Let's go, Tiger.
Did I die but also level up? What the hell happened? Steve, your eyes are not your ears are not deceiving you. That is exactly what you heard. Also, dude, you get generated like fucking crazy in this game. Tassel and Mohawk. Alright, good. Please let me. Oh shit. Low level.
Let's go.
Alright, I'm gonna continue to credit feed, but
Robin.
I'm not necessarily gonna like. If we happen to beat the game, I might not. I'm enjoying this game too much to just immediately try to, you know, just let it be over as soon as it happens to be over. Thank you. It is a little, it's a little intense. I'll just pick a random. Well, nope, it's just Coke Zero. No cherry Coke here. Not that I mind it, but. Oh, I got some power up. Okay, so I guess this is the part where they figure out that Batman's Bruce Wayne, so they infiltrate the Wayne Manor or whatever. That's like the second to last stage in the 16-bit game. And I guess it's kind of kicks off Act 3 of the movie, so presumably we're pretty far in here. Yeah, like the Riddler in this movie is just awful. Like it's just Jim Carrey doing his most obnoxious Jim Carreyisms, including saying "spank me." Just like that funny. There we go. Okay, I got a bomb. That's new, I guess. Okay, now we go to the right. All right. Like you move so fucking fast too. Like his feet barely move, but slide around like crazy. All right, rip Batmobile, I guess. We had to go back to see that. Oh, there's. Ooh, I just remembered something that we haven't seen yet, but I think it's that. It would make sense that it's right after this, actually. Well, I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it. Nice. Like instant level up. There's something coming up after this that's based on a scene that was cut from the movie. That was in the script, but they never shot it due to budget constraints, I guess. Also, I guess maybe it's stupid, but that didn't stop them from filming the rest of the movie. Mason, what's up? Whoa! Yeah, and there we go. I'm assuming that was meant to happen, yeah. Well, I think, yeah, this... I don't think he... Super grapple. I don't think there was anything inherently terrible about his approach, necessarily. I think there's, even this movie, Forever, which is my least favorite, has its moments of kind of cool production design. I highly appreciate that he had a... I think he had a much stronger vision for what his version of Gotham City was, like compared to Christopher Nolan. Or arguably Zack Snyder, I don't know. Like, say what you want about Schumacher movies, but they're certainly not generic. But I think that's more part of the reason why I think like Batman and Robin works better than Forever, like, because I think it's more, it sticks more true to that kind of, that idea of that campy tone. I don't know. Fuck! I got hit like once. Okay. Well, like Gotham is like changes in between every Nolan movie. Like in the beginning, it's kind of like there's the, like the monorail and stuff. There's like it doesn't seem quite just a city, and then isn't it like Chicago in the second one? And then I don't know. So this is the scene I was talking about, the giant bat. I'm guessing this works similar to the chopper. We have to just. There was apparently going to be some sort of scene in the movie where, like, in the depths of the Batcave, there's a big bat or something. I shouldn't pretend like I know shit about American cities. But all I know is that I really, really like some of the production design, especially in Batman and Robin, like how the city looks. Which obviously, you know, he didn't. It's not like the Burton movies didn't have that. It was just a different thing. Whoa. I don't really know how you're supposed to fight this. Maybe you're just supposed to... that. Well, I don't need to pick up more. I've got it. I'm doing shit as far as the level goes. I'd have to get really lucky to survive.
High ground smoke. Highest copper. Crownbuster bones. Powers.
This doesn't sound good, my... Yeah, no, it's something's happening. See, it's not, it's just, hang on. You can hear it from the sound too, it's like progressing very slowly. Let me check my... Like my CPU isn't going crazy or anything. But MAME, yeah, is like not really responding either. Let's see what's happening here. Maybe this is recoverable. I mean, it didn't stop. Actually, what do we? I hope P. Can we? Yeah, there we go. And like increase. I wanted to try and see if I could like increase frame skip or something like that way and make it. Was the bat scene actually shot? I remember hearing just that it was meant to be in the movie but wasn't there. And yeah, probably yeah, the scene in the movie was probably not quite the way it's portrayed in this game. I mean, you have to make an action video game out of it. Okay, so I know that this stage is like full of crazy effects. So I wonder if it's like that for some reason in this version. There's something with the emulation that fucks up with this room. And if that's like if this room is just gonna kill all runs, then that's a problem. I mean, I do have an older version we could go back to, but then I think we'd get no sound. Not exactly sure. I wanted to see if like just once we get into this, like if there's like just a hump. Like let's see when the screen transition ends, do we somehow get brought back up to speed at that point? I'm also trying to like add frame skip, but I forget kind of how you do it. It seems to be working. Oh, there we go. I managed to add frame skip, I think, but it doesn't seem to. We're still running at 1% speed here. It could be, hypothetically, that this issue has nothing to do with what's actually happening at this scene of the game. It's just something else happened to kick in. But I'm inclined to believe that it's connected to the emulation of this particular scene, in which case it's going to be a problem, because it's not like we can just bypass it. And doesn't seem to be getting any better. We're definitely like fully in the scene. The transition is no longer happening. So if we reset, what happens? I'm holding the reset button. I'm just waiting for it to. There we go. Nope. And now it just. Shit, I should have seen if I could set it to auto, but... I'm curious if anyone else who played this game have played it on this version, or maybe because when I load the game, I get the choice of different BIOSes, and I'm curious if maybe the choice of BIOS could somehow affect the emulation. I'm guessing, unfortunately, I don't have anyone in chat who actually knows. I was hoping FP would be here. He said he really wanted to watch, and I did give him a heads up, but I guess he was probably busy. Yeah, I'm torn here. Well, we'll do another attempt, and once we get to that scene, if the same thing happens, we'll abort, and we'll see what kind of options we have there. You know. To the best of my knowledge, there's not that much left of the game after that. There's like this kind of gauntlet where you fight. You're in this weird holographic room, and I think it's pretty much like the last boss. After that, I don't remember exactly, but I think there's like very little left after that. This sure seems quaint. Can I level up, please? Yeah, the question is, I guess, I mean, I know it's near the end, but is it like, was that the final room? Is there the one room after that? Or is there like a whole stage? I mean, I guess this game doesn't really have stages in the traditional sense anyway.
Our kind of day.
Buying the arcade board, it's not really a quick, simple solution. Although I would be sort of tempted, like, if I had a... You know, it's been kind of a dream of mine to just get a... You know, Astro City or Blast City, like one of those sweet Japanese arcade cabinets. Except I wouldn't know what to put in it, but I know Anonymous was streaming before, and he's got one of those. Essentially, it's like I forget what they were called, but it's essentially like flash cards or nice instant death. Whatever, we'll credit for this run anyway. But for like an arcade board, so you can get an STV board. And then get that thing and essentially have every STV game. STV being like the Saturn-based arcade hardware that this game runs on. And there's not that many games on the STV, but there's a good number of really cool games. There's this game, of course. There's Dynamite Deca, aka Die Hard Arcade, which is a super cool game. I'm pretty sure Decathlete is on STV, and I love that game. Like quite a few games that later got Saturn ports is on STV. So it's a nice like contained library with a pretty high average level of quality. And it would be pretty sick to have a cabinet with this on it. Nice. Okay, that was pretty fun.
High ground smoke. Overthrow evil. Overthrow evil.
I keep forgetting. Is this just a level up?
Overthrow evil.
Power extreme. Do a lot of extra damage. I don't know. I guess I would kind of like to level down at this point. I love that you can just stand in the corner facing, you know, the outside of the screen and just spin around. Enemies will just walk into you and get caught in your vortex of spinny kicks.
Multiple knockout. Power up.
Right, pretty decent. But yeah, getting either a super gun or, like, even worse, so to speak, a cabinet, it would be cool, but it's something I find pretty intimidating in terms of like maintenance and operating it. Dude, this is not going great.
Multiple knockout.
Man, running into that weird freeze thing just I feel like it killed my momentum.
Multiple knockout. Multiple knockout.
I want to level up, but fucking crowds throwing bottles at you. It's cute. Oh, almost full health. There does not seem to be any extend though, because I think I made it all the way to, well, whether it's 100,000 or a million or whatever. What the fuck was that? And I didn't get an extend. Total active power? What the hell did he say? Power? I don't fucking know. And again, asking this game to make sense, that is a fool's errand, so.
Multiple knockout. Multiple knockout.
Give me that power. Fuck. I think I got the health, but even understanding the system, man, it's you don't necessarily have a hell of a lot of precision, I guess. I am kind of curious what a score run of this would look like. Assuming, I guess, like doing high combos, like, be a thing, or I don't know, just like if you had to take that kind of, or some other aspect into consideration in addition, or just health, power level, but I don't know. It would be above my level of play, that's for sure. Okay, now we get to the rooftop, I think. All right. Yep. I guess that thing can maybe throw you. I'm not really sure why I went for that's great. Worst run. All right, let's.
You're looking at your new partner.
I love those extremely casual, weird voice clips. Just take some random line of dialogue. It's not a cool action catchphrase or anything. Just like, I'm Robert. Really important. Just like half asleep. All right, chopper time. This game is just absurd. Yep, that's that it is. That is exactly what this game is. I don't think there's a better way. There's not a better word to describe it.
Now that's impressive.
Damage, sure.
Let's start this party with a bang! Boys!
I'm just bored standing there.
Double damage.
So yeah, double damage is like really good to kill people quickly when you level up, I guess. Fucking staged hazards killing you. I will say it's very easy to get killed by stuff without really knowing what killed you.
That's impressive. Multiple knockout.
Grapple? What? I guess you can do stuff with those things. Yeah, like the mechanics are like weirdly sound.
Now that's impressive.
Which is the kind of the strangest thing of all. But yeah, it's been mentioned numerous times, like how did this game get made? How? Okay.
You can call me.
I like that I just intercepted them, but and that Two-Face is over there now. Sure, why not? All right, so here's the introduction of it. Oh, now he's there. Okay. It should, but it's never mind. I died. Okay. I didn't die just yet, but probably. Okay, I'm not gonna. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I didn't get much life, but yeah, this whole that effect is just a little overdone. Here we go with the Riverbog. Of all the like possible incarnations of the Riddler, I gotta say, like, obnoxious Jim Carrey does not strike me as the kind of guy who would like design robots that like actually work or whatever. In fact, I don't know if like Jim Carrey's like mugging moron or whatever like projects any kind of intelligence otherwise associated with the character. Yeah, STS, I agree. Like, I'm sure there are plenty of beat 'em ups that have some sort of leveling mechanic. But yeah, the like tightrope walk. All right, let's feed some credits into this bad boy. It's the balancing act of life versus power. There's all kinds of bullshit on top of that. Whoa! Okay, let's just hold it. Yeah, there's a lot of this game which is just what? That is for sure. But I guess one of the things that's surprising me is like having watched people play this with no greater understanding, or in fact any understanding of the mechanics. Learning how the game actually works and playing it myself, I have a greater understanding, like, or you know, sort of respect for it. I don't know, like it makes sense, and it's like, whoa, hey, this game's actually not. It's not only. It's not only, you know, how goofy it is. That's a big part of the game, but far from the only. Like that there is actually a good fun game in between there, but at the same time. Oh shit, level up. It's all green during the power up. Alright, cool. Like, yes, the game is a big pile of anything and everything thrown at the wall. You just get to see what sticks. And there is, like, hey, there is actually a real game there. And that might be a little surprise, and hey, that's neat. But at the same time, like, just the fact that there is a game does not doesn't change the fact that it still is an inscrutable mess of a game. Like, just because you realize that, hey, there is actually like this power level health thing, that's an interesting mechanic. But at the same time, like, whoops, that, you know, one of the characters sort of interacts with those systems way different than the other character, and it ends up being like two different games, and there's a lot of shit that probably was not intended. But overall, like, to me, playing it and getting into, like, there's definitely, well, I was gonna say more good than bad. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like, I like it. I enjoy it. There's stuff that's annoying, there's stuff that's stupid, but I don't think it's a bad game with some redeeming qualities. I think it's a good game with some questionable qualities. Yeah, the speed is just insane, really. And you know, you've played through this game, and I'm sure you could, yeah, like, learn to 1cc it and whatever, and then even consistently 1cc it, but still, like, see something that's like, what the hell? Like, is that part of the game? I don't know how that works. Like, there seems like maybe there is more parts of the game that don't need to be there, or that don't make sense, that don't sort of feed into what makes the game interesting. And it just, I don't know, the fact that it's so, just, even on its surface, so overwhelming. I don't know, it is, I think, interesting that this it makes sense. It's appropriate, I should say. It's probably blind luck, but it's like appropriate that it's a game based on this particular movie that happened to be this. Because if you think about it, it could be anything. But it's like they tried to like, crazy the movie. I keep forgetting what this is. I'm just, oh no, that's the, okay.
Double damage.
Double damage. I keep, like, getting the buttons mixed up between every stage, actually. And it's interesting, like, with a game where, you know, what ought to be kind of a relatively major boss fight, you can have it be that. And I played the game, I've played probably less than like 10 credits altogether, or maybe somewhere around there. And I can learn to beat a, it's not even a matter of learning, like, I could have learned that in 5 minutes if someone, you know, sat me down, okay, this is what you do.
Power sustain.
But the game is still challenging.
Power sustain.
It's a weird, like, the difficulty balance in the game is strange. And yeah, enemies doing 90% damage, like getting generated by sudden stage hazards. It is. You're super like you're more overpowered than by far than in any beat 'em up I've ever played. Like, even if it's not in relation to the enemies, but just in your abilities, doing like invincible 100+ hit combos at will. I think that's kind of what makes the game so fun. Like, it's fast and it's crazy and you are super overpowered, but it's still, you know, it doesn't. It's still challenging because you can die at any second. I mean, that can be a source of frustration where everything's going well, and then after 20 minutes, you get half a second of bad luck or poor decision making, and then like everything falls apart. But it's definitely never dull, and that counts for something. But it kind of makes sense too if you think about it, like where the genre was at this point. 96 is like a really late beat 'em up like this. The genre was definitely on its way out, like for the most part in terms of mainstream appeal. I mean, it had been. It hadn't been like the hot genre in a long time, I would say, at that point. But even so, there were other games around, but you definitely would have to. You would have to think of something to make it stand out. I mean, I guess this would have been in the sort of in the wake of Killer Instinct, right? That was like 94, 95. I gotta imagine this game is pretty like inspired by that game. Not in how it plays, but just the presentation. Mm. 3D games, of course, were becoming more popular. So I guess it would also be like just a matter of like adding insane levels of spectacle and bombast that you couldn't get on consoles. You can kind of see that, like there's everything they put in here is like, well, fuck it, let's make it flash and let's zoom something in, let's add some camera shakes, some explosions, you know, some voice clips. Because I mean, if you look at kind of the last couple of Capcom beat 'em ups around, you know, Alien vs Predator was what, 94, and even that was kind of late. Like, fighting games were well established as the hot genre in arcades at that point. And Battle Circuit was what, 98, 97, something like that. And that was like, no one gave a shit about that. Even Capcom really don't seem to give a shit about it, considering they've never ported it and released it. Dude, these stick guys are a problem. Ah, fuck! Just one stuff.
Fortune smiles.
Robin.
Oh shit, good. First time that happened. Oh wait, do I become big now? I guess so. Alright, sure, why not? Oh, can't back to normal size. Collision, yeah, it's just like slippery as hell, and who the hell knows? Shadows from Star at 96, yeah, makes sense. Alright, got a little lucky there. Let's not pick that up. Rather level down and level up. Damage is going to be good for that. No, I need to level down first. I'm just looking at the meter. What? Fuck that up. No. Dude, no problem. Nice. Okay. Well, a little bit. But it's still like shocking to me that that this game is so sort of good as it is. I mean, even if it's strange, but like it feels strangely mechanically solid for what could be like a fairly complex, like mechanically complex genre. I mean, it's not quite a fighting game, but like fighting games would be the example. Like if you look at, I mean, maybe it's an oversimplification, maybe it's a generalization, but like there are good American arcade games, of course, but like I would say the distinction between American and Japanese arcade games would be like the American games tend to lack so like the kind of finesse and kind of thoughtful like design of Japanese games. Maybe thoughtful isn't the word that comes to mind when describing this game, but what I mean is like, I don't know, let's just compare Mortal Kombat to Street Fighter. So like Street Fighter clearly has there's a thought to the design of how the game works. Whereas Mortal Kombat is like, hey, fuck it, what's cool? Okay, that's cool, let's put it in. And viewed through a lens of like how do fighting games work? Like how should they work? Mortal Kombat is just a giant mess. Like it's very poorly designed. I think in that sense. Oh damn! See if we can take down this battle a little quicker. And I can't off the top of my head, I guess, think of many American beat 'em ups, but I wouldn't think of them being very like, I don't know, carefully designed either. But I think it's also just a different kind of culture. Like, I just think, I mean, it's different for different developers, of course. But I mean, Midway, I guess, being kind of the like Atari, and then Midway is sort of the figurehead, I guess, of like the Western arcade industry. But like, their games were pretty much always very brazen about their attitudes towards separating kids from their quarters in a way that I don't think really is quite true for most Japanese games, even if they were also difficult. I mean, obviously this game is pretty rough that way, but it's also like you could really learn to beat it, or like, you know.
Don't damage.
All that, so much for that. But yeah, like Pit Fighter, for example, that's a good example because there's no elegance or finesse to that game's design. Like, one character is kind of trash, one character is super trash, and one character is playable. And then even within that sort of framework, like to make the one viable character work, you have to like do sort of abuse the system, or like do something that clearly doesn't seem like it was intended, with the canceling every attack into something else. I mean, say what you want about the combos and strats in this game. At least the rest of the game is crazy enough for that to not stand out as like something that looks like a bug. When you do Robin's combos in this game, it's like, yeah, it's fucking absurd and stupid. Okay, moment of truth. But it's it seems by design. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Shut this down. Oh, my ears. So I wonder if, just to show you, when you start it up, you do get this choice, and I just went with whatever, the one at top. But I don't know if I strongly doubt this could make any difference. I would assume it's an emulation thing. So this doesn't really. Yeah, I doubt there's anything. I don't know. I haven't heard about anyone saying like, "Oh, this you got to make sure to do this or that for it to work." But I also know that something has changed, I guess, with the emulation. It should be the right version. Like the fact that it even plays, suggests that it is. I asked FP about it, and he said like, if you got the ROM, you should be good. Like I have not a complete set, but a set that it was like, it's definitely no more than a year old, but I don't think it's even that old. So since then, I don't think this has changed. What we can do this. We can shut this down. And I can try to go back to another version of MAME, and we'll see how that plays in that version. I don't have any of the console versions of the game, so if this is as far as we can get, it would be unfortunate, but at least we gave the game a proper go. But I'm gonna see here. Okay, let me try that, SJS. It seems that I think the ROM set is for MAME 0.185, and the version I'm playing is 0.199, so it's not that big a discrepancy. Yeah, I figured. Give me a second, I'll try that, I guess. Unknown option, verify ROM. Doesn't, let's see. Nope, it doesn't seem to verify ROMs. Okay, let me try that then. Because it doesn't, the help command doesn't show much. ROM set Batman FR is good. Okay. But, let's see here. Let me open up this older version and, knowing that that was not the issue. But thanks for letting me know about that. It's a good thing to check. Let's see here. I think with this other version, we will probably end up with something that is might have more visual glitches. I think will not have sound, or at least not perfect sound. But we can do one playthrough and see if we at least get to the boss. I guess we should pause the timer while doing this. Pretty anticlimactic, but it is what it is. Last change they made, yeah, because this happened to be, because the thing is, I knew that the emulation of this game had been updated, so I just grabbed the latest version of MAME like yesterday, and this one that I jumped back to now just happens to be whatever version I had before that. So I don't know that this version that we're running now is not something that I got specifically for this game. Well, it says graphics imperfect, sound okay. Well, let's try it. This disclaimer was on the other version too. So maybe this older version, so to speak, is already late enough to still run the game just like the other version. I have no idea. So like maybe... Wait, hang on. Controls setup made no sense there. SCU transfer from BIOS area. Part that's running. But this is strange. Why is it like...
Rats.
Yeah, okay. So obviously this doesn't look quite right.
Robin.
Okay, let me resume the timer in a little bit. Okay, the controls are wrong. The button 1 isn't used, so it should be 2, 3, 4. I'm guessing this control setup here is like a standardized STV thing. That's probably why it has support for 4 players too, because the game definitely doesn't. No, that's not. What the fuck? Maybe... I need to remove this. That's not what I meant to do, but fine. Yeah. Make the controls. What the fuck? Okay. The game is so zany that it's hard to know if the controls acting up is because they're set correctly or if it's just the game being this game. Well, speed doesn't seem to be an issue. But it could absolutely be that something that happened in the graphics emulation, because the room where the game, well, it didn't freeze, but, you know, where it started going in slow motion, is a room that has all kinds of transparency in 3D and super crazy shit. Maybe something that adjusted the emulation there made the game run slower than in the previous versions. So I'm gonna try to get there. Keep track of how many credits it takes us. Ah, let me power up. Maybe a change in the STB BIOS. I mean, I wouldn't know, but this is the one thing I can try, so I'll try it. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Shit. Losing life here is not great. I mean, I can credit feed, it doesn't really matter. But I would definitely reset if I was trying for 1cc.
Multiple knockout. Multiple knockout.
The voices are just hilarious.
Multiple knockout.
Alright, spin it to win it.
Spank me.
Oh shit, can you jump kick out of that? That's actually good to know. Three, are we done here? Yep. That's a good time here.
Highest compliment.
Close enough. Let's do hollow. Hollow.
Riddle me this.
Dude, I fucking need hollow mode to hit these guys.
Multiple knockout. Multiple knockout.
Yeah, there we go. 5 exploding Super Saiyans. Audio is actually not bad either in this. Like, really nice and clear quality. Like live music and really nice speech samples and movie and everything. Did he land on me? Oh, I guess I didn't take damage, but that was fucking weird.
Multiple knockout.
Ah! Fuck! He killed me before I could level up. Or I mean, close enough. Oh, that's the worst thing. You just end up just shy of actually going down the level. Because it's really hard to level down with just like one touch. Could be good to kill people quickly, I guess. Ooh, that was a good health boost.
Multiple knockouts.
That's impressive.
Ah, let me get the health. Let me. Ah! Fuck. There we go. Oh, nice. Full health. Sick. Man, it can be really frustrating to try to get to those power-ups. But yeah, someone was mentioning, I saw it linked to somewhere, that apparently Jim Carrey has been cast as Eggman in the upcoming Sonic movie. Boy, I don't know what to make of that. Not that I'm very invested in that movie to begin with, but I'm curious if he's gonna be, like, is he even gonna be a real person or a weird CG thing? Because they've said that the movie is going to be like half like Sonic in the real world thing, like kind of a a mix, live action / cartoon, whatever. But I wonder if Eggman is going to be part of the cartoon world or part of the real world.
Multiple knockouts.
Oh, I'm dying there. Muffled voices. I mean, I guess we don't know exactly, but like Sonic Adventure style, I don't know. Again, like I said, I mean, I'm like interested in movies, so I hear stuff and read stuff about movies, but I'm not like particularly looking forward to, or not looking forward to it. I mean, especially before we really know what it even is. But that's mostly the question, right? Like, what do we even make of this? I believe they have announced, like they have cast the voice of Sonic, but I forget who it was. I think it was at least like not someone who actually did Sonic's voice in any other cartoons or games before. God damn it, stop. Like throwing dudes is like totally automatic. It's kind of really weird when you're trying to walk somewhere and just keep stopping to throw dudes, or even when dudes like run into you, you stop to throw them instead of like continue to go where you were going.
Highest round smoke. Highest combo. Hero bonus.
I guess highest combo and highest whatever, that kind of only makes sense if you're playing two-player, because I guess the player who has the highest of the two is the one getting the bonus. But obviously, I will be the highest, top one of one.
Let's start this party with a bang!
I keep being impressed with that little clip being so clear. For some reason, I expected like it's not like it would be that amazing of a technical achievement in 1996 to play a clean sounding voice clip, but even so.
Spank me. Spank me. Multiple knockout. Power up.
Nice. Well, leveled up nice and quick. And well, there's that Mario movie coming out too, right? I'm curious what that's gonna be.
That's impressive.
Please let me level up. And find me to do that. Nice. Okay.
You can call me the Riddler.
I don't think you played that voice clip before, did you? You know what? I'm actually also tempted to rewatch this movie. To whoever said that, watching this game is the one thing that could make someone want to rewatch the movie. I kind of feel the same way. Oh, thank you. I guess throwing, like, does that just not deal damage, or what's going on here? Stealth.
Spank multiple knockout.
Nice. Perfect. It is kind of... What the fuck? There's a guy there, I guess. Well, that was extremely confusing, but I powered up. I got good health again. But also mean you can rewatch it, yeah.
Highest round score. Highest combo.
I remember I wanted to rewatch all of these movies as we started getting into like the movie-based
Super grapple.
games. But then I ended up sort of doing that when I was doing some of the, you know, the stream alert stuff. I was looking for sound clips from the movies, so I just grabbed the movies. And inevitably asked, you know, to go through the movies to try to find good clips. Even though I didn't really watch the movies, you know, front to back, obviously you end up seeing a lot of them. And that was kind of fun. And I'm kind of torn on one hand wanting to watch them properly, but on the other hand kind of having seen them now. Nice, I'm gonna exchange my super grapple for a regular grapple. That's fine. Now, like, Two-Face, like... He kills Robin's parents. That's kind of neither here nor there, I guess. For some reason, like, the Riddler and Two-Face team up or whatever. But yeah, it's... I don't know, he's evil. Like, but I can barely remember, like, what's their... You know, the villain's plot in general. Like... I think, like, it's something to do with, you know, they... I guess, you know, because, like, half of Batman's villains, I guess. The Riddler was, like, a former employee of Wayne. Yeah, exactly, right. So... He wants revenge on Bruce Wayne or whatever. And to do that, he wants to market this weird device that transports your thoughts through your TV so that he can read everyone's minds so that he can figure out who Batman is or something. Which, I guess, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. It's a coincidence, I guess, if he was also after Bruce Wayne. I don't even know. But there's, yeah, those stupid green plungers that somehow transmit thoughts. Maybe it's Two-Face that wants Batman. And the Riddler wants Bruce Wayne, and they turn out to be the same person, so I don't even fucking know. I guess they're like, we're both villains, so I guess we team up. Actually, I guess there's probably a little more explanation than that, but not a lot, really. Fuck, and I still died. But I think I'm still on my first credit, right?
Multiple knockout. Evil.
Damn it, let me fucking power up. Fuck! Dude, I can't believe how much I struggled to level up there.
You're looking at your new partner.
Yeah, right. So they, yeah, exactly. They have the stupid green plunger thing that, like, visibly not only like shoots a green laser beam from your TV to your brain or whatever, but also like somehow this becomes the new hot thing all over Gotham City. I guess he's marketing it very locally. And then it visibly like shoots a giant green beam to like its secret hideout island. It gets a little stupid. I don't know, and Two-Face, it's like he's got the crazy side and the crazy side with red makeup. There's not really a distinguishable difference between his two sides. I will say, I quite like the costume design for Two-Face. The makeup is, it's okay, it's not amazing, but it's alright. But I like this suit. It's like the least offensive part. And let's go for Hollow mode. That always works. Yeah. Dramatic boss battle. It's kind of interesting that there aren't much. I mean, there are kind of boss fights in that some of the enemy, you know, they're named enemies that like the first time you meet them, they're kind of acts as a boss. But otherwise, this game doesn't really have much in terms of boss fights. And you really don't fight Riddler or Two-Face until the end. Like compare that to the console game, where in the same equivalent scene, like in that location, where you kind of go to his lair, there is a Two-Face boss fight there in that version. But here we don't even. I mean, we've seen him, and that's a nice touch. They, when he's in the foreground shooting shit, and like you see him run past. I do like that.
Multiple knockout.
Very close to leveling up here. There we go.
Should have done the red, purple for his face. They all had green Riddler. I mean, it's kind of a tricky thing too because you don't like. His design in the animated series is amazing. I love that design, but I think it would be tough to get away with something like that in live action, like blue skin. Like look almost a little too alien. It certainly doesn't look like scarring. Like it's a tough sell, I think. But I agree. Like there's something about the reddish purple. I mean, obviously it doesn't quite look like scarring either, but I don't know. But even taking the makeup and all that into consideration, like the look of Two-Face, I don't really mind. I mean, that's the least of his problems. I don't love the look of Jim Carrey's Riddler, but again, that's I have bigger issues with it. But I guess he goes through a couple of different looks. Just vaguely recall there is this one scene where he has the like a suit or something, but he's got like there's the one part where he does have the domino mask. He's got like you can kind of tell that his like eyebrows are shaved or something. I forget exactly. There's some detail that just makes it look super weird. And the less we say about his fucking white, sparkly, whatever the fuck he's wearing at the end of the movie, the better. I know. Not that I'm against spectacle or glitter or diamonds or anything like that, but it's not. It's a weird version of the Riddler, and even then, like it feels like it's less about this version of the character and more like weird indulgence to Jim Carrey's whims. I don't know. But I've always, even as as a young child, I would watch the 60s show, and I always quite liked. Like the Riddler was like my favorite Batman villain when I was a kid. And even though I couldn't tell you specifics really about like Frank Gorshin's performance in the TV show as Riddler, just like he is kind of what I think of when I picture the Riddler. And of course, I mean he did wear tights and stuff there too, but I'm mostly thinking of like the suit. And like Jim Carrey's version is just so far from that. It doesn't have that charisma, but also, I mean, there's certainly a type of charisma, but it's just a different type of personality. And I think it's I'm not one to say that this character has to be portrayed this particular way. If anything, I've been quite vocal about how I feel Batman in particular, but also by extension his villains can be portrayed in many different ways, and that's a strength. But as far as personal preference goes, yeah, the Jim Carrey style does not do much for me. Have we watched the movie? Yeah. Well, we've got other. What's this doing?
Power sustain. Power sustain.
Power sustained? Does that mean it doesn't drain? It drains less? We've got more
more games, more stuff that is coming. This is not. The end of this game does not, by any means, have to be the end of the stream. In fact, one of the reasons I got a little late to start the stream was that I was preparing some of the stuff that's coming later. I mean, no, it's not the only Batman Forever game. It's the second of 2, but there's more Batman. I mean, like, certainly I can't keep you, hold you hostage. But I'm saying I will keep streaming after I beat this game, and we'll be playing more Batman stuff. Obviously, you're not obliged to stay and watch. If you want to go watch the movie, but there's stuff coming, which is kind of special in its own right. Not as spectacular as this. But the next 2 games, or not exactly games, but the next 2 things on the list, I think, are some of the more obscure ones, so it should be fun. He's getting more drunken. That's possible. Oh man, it's almost summer vacation, dude. I cannot wait to just go out and barbecue and have beer outside in the park or something. It's like one of the greater pleasures in life. Now I gotta get a little trickier to level up without wasting a bunch of meters. See if I can drop the shit on the side of the screen. Robin is really, he's a lot better than Batman. Is the quick answer. The backflip combo thing that I do basically all the time. Batman cannot do that. His closest equivalent is harder to do and like a little more situational. Covers less ground. Basically, whenever you're not doing your invincible combo, you're at great risk of being killed. And simply put, you can say that Batman has to spend more time not in that combo than Robin does. Robin also has a better jump kick, like better mobility. So basically it's just a lot easier as Robin. But also, what's up with all the hate for Robin? Everyone's... I actually, maybe it's call it siding with the, identifying with the underdog or whatever. I don't know, but I've always, never minded Robin. But also in the context of this Batman Crusade, my little adventure here, we're gonna play like 50 games where we can only play as Batman. So I'm gonna cherish the opportunity to play as different characters in any game. But mostly it just happens to be that in this game, Robin is way better than Batman. God damn it. actually weirdly difficult to throw the batarangs. And they don't home. They're not quite homing like with when you fight the helicopter. I feel like this is arguably the hardest part. And I also don't really know what to do in that. If you're a millionaire, you can do whatever. Okay, so let's find out if this works. I mean, Hoffman, sure, you can be president by being a millionaire, but you just have to be more of a millionaire than every other millionaire who wants to be president.
Super knockout.
That's pretty much how it works, right?
That's it.
Riddle me this.
See? Here we go.
Riddle me that.
Actually, let me get rid of this shit.
Who's afraid of a big black
Robin. Next we got CG Jim Carrey doing stupid air humping. So this is the whole thing. Point of being a billionaire, not doing stuff. Well, I think not doing stuff gets really boring really fast. I mean, I tend to, after a few weeks of vacation, I tend to be really excited to get back to work. I mean, of course, like I said before, I actually like my job, so that's arguably a luxury that many people don't have, but I think it's more about, I mean, not to say that I would choose to be head of state if I had infinite money and opportunities, but it's more about like never having to worry about shit. Like, I'm well enough off financially thanks to my job that I don't have to think about money all the time. Obviously, money's a concern. I still like rent an apartment, which is pretty much throwing money into a hole. But if there's something I want to buy, because I think, dude, wouldn't it be fun to buy this thing, then unless it's really expensive, I don't really need to worry too much about it. I can kind of buy it and worry about it later. And that extends to some stuff, but it doesn't extend. Or like if I want to eat lunch out instead of bringing lunch to work, like I can do that. But if I did that every day of a month, like that would be a significant hit to my financials. And it's not like I could just travel freely or whatever. But like you can kind of, I have some degree of freedom. Being rich, I think, just sort of extends that to more and more like avenues of life. Also, CG Riddler just did Jim Carrey's. Yeah, see that? Fucking stupid walk. Also, everything is spinning around, so it's like even harder to move and or figure out what the fuck is going on. Fine, let's. Awesome millionaire. You'd be really good at it because you're so corruptible. I mean, I understand your logic, and I don't think I can argue with it. Okay, stuff's exploding. We got Mohawks guys. Level 2. I kind of don't want to. That was badly planned on my own. Generated. Level 1. down is where you don't want to be. Oh, down is also where you don't want to be as well. So, dude, are they shooting projectiles? I don't think they've even seen them do that before. Fucking good luck picking up power up with it too. You need binoculars. It's kind of funny when it's so tiny. But I mean, hey, they definitely double down on like doing as much as possible with scaling and like 3D and shit. That's cool. In fact, I'm surprised there's not more like polygonal vehicles or enemies or something in the game. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's meant to be like the camera is like turning around the room, or is he actually making this thing spin? Like, is the camera just spinning around and he just is walking to keep himself in frame? Oh, it's just like a staircase up to a little pedestal. Alright, so I guess we get to fight Big Riddle from the other game. I forget actually what this looks like. I remember this room, the whole spinning crazy shit. Alright, we actually get to fight Two-Face. How about that? The scale, this room in particular is peak Batman Forever. Like, fall out of him? I don't know what happened there exactly. Okay, well, we got him. Wait, did he fall into a trap door? What happened? I think I beat the game. Congratulations, you freed the citizens of Gotham City from the box's brain drain. Normality will return to the city, and should the need arise, Gotham City now has 2 heroes to call upon. This kind of looks cool though. Also, I guess the Riddler signal is just... Okay, it actually fades out. Giant yellow signal, or bat emblem looks weird. Yeah, the massive chest logo. Like, you kind of understand it in the context of the in-game sprites, because it should be visible. But when he's standing like that, it looks kind of stupid. This is a really fun game. I really didn't expect to take such a liking to it. Mark Shafgen, Darward. Let's see. I guess we'll see if John DiMaggio shows up here, but I wouldn't expect so. There's not a lot of other recognizable names there in the voice cast. Looks to be other developers or family members or whatever. Wico half controls. Man, an Acclaim arcade game seems really weird. Did they even put out anything outside of this? Well, Hoffman, the next movie actually does have 2 games, which is the same amount that this game did, or this movie. Granted, the console Batman Forever game did get ported. Like, it was on at least 4 platforms. And this game was on Saturn, PlayStation, and DOS. But, Batman and Robin is on PlayStation and Gamecom. And the Gamecom version of Batman and Robin sure is the thing. Honestly, the PlayStation one seems kind of crazy too. Really, really ambitious. Probably a little too ambitious for its own good. I tried it very briefly just to make sure that I had it up and running, that I could play it. but it seems interesting, albeit difficult. I really like this game. It's a lot more fun than I expected, and I would say, I guess, more like skill-based than I expected. There's a lot of bullshit in it, but you could definitely learn to be a lot more consistent at it. It's just that it takes so little, and sometimes just a little bad luck, to just get destroyed. But having said that, like yeah, I didn't think I would take such a liking to this, to the point where I like would want to come back to it. But like now, I really feel like, not necessarily that like, oh man, I can't wait to, you know, I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna keep grinding until I learn the 1cc right now today. But I'm definitely, like, of all the games on the Batman list, this is easily near the top in terms of games I will want to revisit whenever I feel like, you know, loading up MAME just to play whatever beat 'em up game. Not to mention just show it to someone who hasn't seen it. Like, dude, check this shit out. And you know, just go through it once, and maybe learn to 1cc it one day. But even if not, like, it's still just a fun game. It's I'm really surprised that it's not what I expected. It's not how I suspected that I would feel after playing through it. But it is very intense, and I'm happy that the next things on our list are way less less intense. So the console version is no good. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it myself, so I guess you shouldn't necessarily take my word for it, but that's what I've heard. It's just really stripped down to the point where it's like kind of no point in playing it. Or, you know, it's well, I don't know if it's slower, but it runs at half the frame rate. It's missing a lot of like visual, probably cut animation effects missing and stuff like that, so you get a vastly just like inferior experience. But I haven't played it. Especially if you don't have it, you know, if you don't have the arcade game fresh in mind to compare it to it, maybe it's not that bad. I really don't know. But I think, as much as I do like it, and as much as I would love to learn to get better at the game, we've spent 3 hours with it, and I think that's about what I can handle for now. We're going to move on to, like I said, a little bit more of a low-key affair. So, let's close this down, and this. And let's get some music going. Why don't we? Let's get something. Yeah, this is good. Let's turn down this a little bit. And let's do some bookkeeping, shall we? Let's see here. Batman Forever. Yeah. Arcade. Results. Let's say, I guess we. Oh, hang on. Beat the game. Yeah, hang on. That's a little better, maybe. Music getting a little intense. I don't remember exactly how many credits I took, so let's just say credit feeding. 2, 49, 53. I'll add the link later. Maybe it's something else, credit feeding? Oh yeah, right, the original arcade game. That means this is no longer bold. And then in consistency, let's keep this green. And next up, dude, I get so distracted by this intense action music. Next up is Batman Partners in Peril. Now, this is something a little different. This is a, like, one of several, kind of in the vein of the Cartoon Maker, like a multimedia CD-ROM experience kind of thing. But it's something a little different. It's more of an interactive comic for Windows 3.1. I need to take a little bit of a break regardless. I've been going for 3 hours. Good time to stop for a few minutes, stretch my legs, get some air, bathroom break, all that stuff. But when we come back, we're gonna play Batman Partners in Peril. One of the very few, I should say, games on this list, all things considered, that is not based on any TV or movie version of Batman. This is actually, well, I guess that's not really true either, but it's not based on a current version. Maybe that's fair to say. So let's take a look at the setup screen here. Let's update this. Wait, hang on. No, I want this. Give me a sec here. Set this all up. There we go. And yeah, I'll be away for a couple of minutes, setting up and taking a break. But when we get back, it's going to be Batman Partners in Peril. So see you soon.